Hello everyone, and thank you for attending my presentation. Today I will be presenting our research on the flexural properties of unidirectional carbon fiber epoxy laminates. This study focuses not only on the experimental bending behavior of these composites manufactured via vacuum infusion, but also critically evaluates the accuracy of finite element predictions when trying to simulate these structures. Carbon fiber composites are the fundamental structural materials in modern aerospace engineering due to their exceptional strength-to-weight ratio. In applications like aircraft secondary structures and aerodynamic panels, these materials are routinely subjected to severe bending-dominated loads. While we rely heavily on finite element analysis to design these components safely, the accuracy of these numerical models, especially for complex off-axis fiber orientations, is often challenged by real-world boundary conditions. Our motivation was to investigate this gap between physical reality and numerical simulation. To ensure high-quality test specimens, we utilized vacuum infusion processing, or VIP. Unlike basic hand layup, VIP allowed us to produce laminates with minimal void content and consistent fiber volume fractions. We manufactured 11 distinct 4-ply stacking sequences, strategically combining 0, 90, and plus-minus 45-degree orientations. This variety was essential to study how pure axial, pure transverse, and complex off-axis layups behave under flexural stress. For the mechanical evaluation, we followed the ASTM D790 protocol for 3-point bending tests. Based on our specimen thickness of 0.8 mm, we calculated the required support span to achieve an L/D ratio of 32. We tested 5 samples for each of the 11 configurations, totaling 55 tests, continuously recording the applied force and central deflection until failure. This provided a robust experimental baseline. This graph illustrates the raw force displacement response for all layups. As expected, fiber orientation dictated the mechanical performance. The stiffest curves, reaching the highest forces but breaking on minimal deflection, represent the 0-degree dominated laminate. Conversely, the layups that stretched far to the right, showing massively deformation before failure, are the off-axis 45 degrees configurations. Finally, the 90-degree laminates failed almost immediately near the bottom of the graph. When we convert that data into material properties, the trend is undeniable. As seen in the blue bar chart for flexural strength and the green chart for flexural modulus, the 0-degree laminate exhibited the highest performance, as the fibers were perfectly aligned with the principal bending stresses. The 90-degree laminate showed the lowest load-bearing capacity, relying entirely on the much weaker polymer matrix. Interestingly, the hybrid and off-axis configuration displayed intermediated predictable performance. Beyond the numbers, the physical failure modes were distinct. The 0-degree laminates failed through sudden tensile fiber breakage or compressive buckling. The 90-degree layups failed exclusively through transverse matrix cracking, essentially snapping the resin. However, the off-axis and hybrid layups experienced much more complex degradation, including interlaminar shear, delamination, and mixed mode fractures. Capturing these complex progressive failure modes numerically is exactly what makes composite simulation so challenging. To compare our physical tests with numerical predictions, we built a finite element model in ANSYS. We modeled the laminates using classical laminate theory. For the setup, we used standard boundary conditions. We locked the supports and pushed the center down, just like in a standard FEA tutorial. We wanted to see if the basic approach is accurate for all fiber orientation. The ANSYS results were accurate for the 0° and 90° symmetric layups. However, for the off-axis layups, like the 45° ones, ANSYS predicted they were much stiffer and stronger than they actually were in the lab. Why did this happen? It's because of the boundary conditions. In reality, off-axis carbon fibers naturally twist and slide a little bit when you bend them. But in ANSYS, our rigid boundary conditions locked the specimens in place and prevented this twisting. Because the simulation didn't let the material twist naturally, it created an artificial stiffening effect. This proves that we must be very careful with boundary conditions when simulating off-axis composites. In conclusion, this study reaffirms the dominant role of fiber orientation in flexural performance and the effectiveness of vacuum infusion processing for producing reliable laminates. Most importantly, our numerical evaluation highlights a critical pitfall. Utilizing standard rigid boundary conditions for simulating thin off-axis composite structures leads to artificial stiffening and inaccurate predictions. If we want reliable digital twins for aerospace design, our simulations must allow for natural kinematic couplings like bending and twisting. Thank you for your time and attention.